Welcome to the afternoon session, everybody. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what most traders miss, and that's where order flow is in relationship to the trend. I'm going to talk about 5 charts and tell you how order flow can really give you an advantage in these markets. So here's the first one, and we're talking about Apple. So here's the order flow on AAPL. So as you can see, this is an uptrend right here, scaling this upsloping trend line. What we see is order block right here, placed right underneath this support. Then the next level of order blocks is set a little bit higher as we're scaling up on this upsloping trend line. It continues that process. We do get a little bit of a rollover, but then we create another set of order flow as the trend is continuing higher. Now, we did break this upsloping trend line, but on the other side wasn't a set of order blocks that indicated that we were going to start dropping to the downside. And so then Apple pushed up. It actually missed my entry price because I was targeting this $345 level all the way up to about $350. Missed it by about 40 cents. But then what happened? Now we set up this set of order blocks, or basically this bearish consolidation, and put in this beautiful topping tail. So what this is showing us that the buyers stepped out of the way, and now that we're driving the price down, we're creating this block of orders that are seller blocks. And so then we get another little bit of a push to the downside. We finally flipped, took out this support, and then all of a sudden came into this pivot top right here at 300.23, 300.23, excuse me. This was the level that I had mentioned that this was a great opportunity for a buy level. Now, because we created this order block, this would have been a great opportunity to end up taking your profits, because even though it's a 5-minute time frame for order blocks, it still gives you an idea of where the sellers are sitting. Now, if we remove the order blocks, take alpha structures off there, this is where I was saying the upsloping trend line, or excuse me, the retrace on Apple could have gone. Turn back on the alpha blocks and look at this. It came to the lower end right where it was telling us that that was going to be the end of the move, because this is where the block of orders were sitting. If it did get above that, because that can happen as well, price action can end up getting through the order blocks. So if they finally flip it and the orders are below it, then this is starting to push more bullish. If we could have recaptured $321.66. So that is still on the table now that we hit the underside of this order block. So in order for Apple to make this continued move to the upside, what we want to see is price to consolidate, allowing these orders that everybody ended up going long in this area to exit their trade. Then this order block will start to weaken, and then we can start pushing higher. So where's the next level of resistance? At this pivot top right here. And as you can see, another set of order blocks on the way up. So here's Caterpillar, CAT. Here was a huge surge to the upside. Look at this. Where was the uptrend? The uptrend, or where was the trend? The trend was forming up. And look at this. You had this order block right here. Price action pushed up, created another set of order blocks, continue to push up. Now, I'm not saying you're going to continue this all the way to the upside and catch this entire move, but that is a possibility as long as the order blocks are lower than the current price action. And then what we did was created this nice upswing trend line. Price action tried to get back below it, stopped right here, created this another block of orders, continue to push the price to the upside. Took out this pivot top, but look at the orders. They continued to flow in there, and then all of a sudden, yes, you do have some down candles right here indicating that there was going to be a sell-off. But I also like to look at what's happening with the price action right here. So if we recapture a pivot top, then the upside can continue. And that's what happened. It continued to scale along this upswing trend line, even though it's putting in these bearish candles. For me, I would have waited for something like this, where the price action turned, and then this order block showed up with price action below the order block. And then all of a sudden, that shows that the trend is shifting. Not that I'm going to get into that level. I want to see what happens with this pivot top right here. And as you can see, it did break below that, got significantly lower, retraced all the way down to this order block. So this tells us that there was some buyers that wish they would have continued to accumulate in this area, got this bid to the upside. But look at this. On the way up, you had this resistance zone, and that's exactly what happened. Is it hit that resistance, and now we're trending lower. Put in the secondary or third order block, continue the selling pressure, and as you can see, we're heading lower. So here's how you would play something like this. I'm going to go ahead and take this alpha structure, this block off right here. Nope, turned off the wrong one. So here's how you'd play something like this. If you didn't try to catch the top and you saw this order block right here, and then you saw price action get below this low pivot, what you do is you set your order at the lower end, and your stop out is any price action above the upper end, because that's telling us that that order block is no longer valid. Those shares have been accumulated, and then the price action could head all the way up to this order block. And so that's where your next level of resistance is going to be. Funnily enough, that would have been a retrace to this broken upsloping trend line as a retrace of the scene of the crime, and that would have given more selling pressure. However, what happened is we got all the way back here, and now we're continuing to have these order blocks that are above price action, indicating that we're going to have further selling pressure. So another way to play this, now that we're below this set of order blocks, and then we're in this range of order blocks, and we've already gotten a bounce off of the upper end, you would play it the exact same way in the opposite direction. Your entry price would be at $776.02, and your stop out is $765.49. So that's how you play a potential long opportunity on something like this, trying to catch low pivots and where a ton of orders were sitting. And the thing with order blocks, right? If price action does get into a specific level, there were only so many buyers who could accumulate at that price, which is why that if price action gets back down into that level, there are still buyers who want to get into that trade, which is why those work so well a lot of times. And it gives you a clear entry price and an exit strategy. And keep in mind, this is not financial advice. Please consult a financial advisor. This is for pure entertainment and educational purposes only. So that's the way I would look to play CAT. On the way up, if we did start accumulating price action above this area, I know I have this resistance back at $931.38. Here is Celsius. Somebody asked about Celsius, and this is amazing. A couple different factors, right? You have this nice downsloping trend line that kept price action underneath it over and over and over again. My downsloping trend line, I actually didn't have it at that pivot. I had it at this pivot right here. As you can see, price action tried to get above it, created this nice divergence right here with this order block, and then price action continued to sell off. Below that, at $21.20, it never stopped at that area. But if you go back and look at some of my previous videos, I loved the $25 whole round number on Celsius. Couple things to look at. Here is a big price action on Celsius. Before that, we had about 5 to 12 million shares traded. But look at this, 43 million shares. This is a capitulation zone. And as you can see on the way up, we created this nice uptrend. And so where's the next level of resistance? For me, you have $33.81. Ton of resistance in this area. I know there are no order blocks, but you have this high pivot point right here that's going to act as additional resistance. So even though the order blocks aren't there, we still use technical analysis as an additional factor. If price can consolidate right under this 33.81, your next level of resistance is $35.58. Above that, if you're looking to catch this uptrend to continue, you want to see all this price consolidation, take out these red bar and green bar candles, all these buyers who are stuck, and then where's your next range or your upside move? All the way up to this next level of order blocks on the charts. And that's sitting from the range of $37.49 all the way up to about $38.78. Again, on the way up, if we can clear this area, zoom out in the charts, pivot low here, look at this. Technical analysis in the making. as well as additional confluence with a set of orders. So this is telling us that if we can clear this area, you are going to have this little gap in the charts. But now look at where the order blocks are. They're below price action, indicating that continuation or a continued accumulation is going on in Celsius. HUT. This was a great trend line, upswing trend line right here. I know it seems like a lot of information, and I usually don't have this much on the charts, but look at where price action is. From this low pivot point, put in a set of order blocks above it, got through this resistance level right here from this order block, then surged to the upside. As you can see, on the way up, continued to put in these orders on the way up, indicating that the uptrend was there. And then all of a sudden, we had this multi confluence area. Now, this was with the weekly and the monthly time frame. And that's why we have this high up here. Put in this nice reversal candle and then a ton of selling pressure. So even if you're not catching the top, what you do is you look for another resistance zone. So when price action does get in this level, comes back down a little bit, this is your entry price. And you notice the entry price would have been at the lower end of this, and your stop out is at the upper end. Anything above that resistance zone, you stop out of the trade, and that is the trade setup. Now, all of a sudden, the order blocks are above the price action, and now we're continuing that price action on the way down. We have flipped, though. We've recaptured this upswing trend line on HUT. And now, if I zoom into the charts, we are creating this right here, and then this secondary level of order blocks on the way up. So for me, the only way I'd play that, because this is the daily low on this set, what I would do is I would actually wait for a retrace all the way back down to $81.19. Or if I was a little bit more conservative, I wait for a little bit lower of a price, because my stop out level is any price action below that level, and then I stop out of the trade and then look for the next level of support. And that's in this zone right here. As you can see, OB2. Look at this price consolidation right here. Big move to the upside. This resistance zone became support. And that's why we're seeing all this in this area. On the way up, if I was aggressive, I would wait and see what happened with this closing price. And then if we can get another surge to the upside, I would look to play this right here on a retrace, and knowing my stop out level would be anything below basically the recapture of this upswing trend line, because then that would indicate that price action is heading even lower. All right, last one, NOW. NOW gave a great example again of how you can continue the downtrend. And I'm not saying that I'm going to hold the entire time on something like NOW or HUT, but here's what a lot of investors miss. Where is price action in relation to where the orders are flowing? So orders are flowing down, big move to the downside. It came back up and tried to retrace this order block set right here. So if I would not have gotten filled if I was using order blocks, then I would not have gotten filled here. But what you do is you wait for this next set. And then all of a sudden we got back in it, never got above this candle. So this for me, because it's such a wide range, this is something that I would have gone lighter on. But look at this, created another one, then another one, then another one, another one. And then the fall really happened on ServiceNow. So which is telling us something. That's telling us that on the way up, this is going to be a really big resistance zone on NOW. Here's the way to play this on the way up. You don't catch the bottom. Now, you could try to catch the bottom, because I did like the $81.69 level. You zoom out in the charts, look at this. Pivot low here, secondary hit, ton of price consolidation. And then all of a sudden, it put in this nice reversal candle. A lot of accumulation in this area. If you didn't catch that, what you could do is you could wait for something like this, where it creates this nice order block on a monthly time frame. Big surge to the upside, created another one just above it. Even if you didn't catch that, you're patient. You wait for another set, and it created another one right here. Now, had you caught that and you were really patient, look at what happened. See this set of orders? Price action retraced all the way back up to it, and then came back down all the way to the upper end of this order block set right here. Now, it would have missed it, and that's fine because we could have still caught some of this move to the way down, but price action is still above these sets of order blocks. This is telling us that NOW is continuing that move to the upside. Let's say, for example, you got in right here because it created this order set. Then all of a sudden it created this one. Are you even worried that price action is going to continue higher? No. You're looking at this saying, okay, well, it continues to put in these sets, and my stop out, if I wasn't in this already, what I would do is my stop out goes just below the low candle or the lower end of the order block set. And then it pushes up again, comes back in, creates this secondary one. Well, your stop loss is already here, and so it's already in play. Creates this another one, another order set block. Now all of a sudden, after this move to the upside, you take your stop and you put it here and wait for this continued move to the upside. And then your upside target is either here or in this range right in this area, sitting at about $139.20. So now that we're not in this is the level that I would be waiting for consolidation. If we can accumulate price action right below this set, then we could take out all these order blocks, and then you have the potential to continue higher to these sets of order blocks on the way up. But that's how you catch major moves to the upside or the downside. You pay attention to where orders are flowing. Are they below where current price action is, or are they above it? If they're below it, you have to wait. And sometimes, well, you guys don't have to do anything, but it's prudent to wait to see if those order blocks can get through on the downside before that trend reverses. And on the way up, if you're waiting patiently for those order blocks to finally flush through or even pierce below it, then you can end up exiting your trade. But if they continue to create those order blocks on the way up, then you can just continue to hold for a longer term move. Anyway, that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And you guys, your comments are incredible. I really appreciate you. My memberships, you guys are awesome. I'm at 105 right now. And this is all because of you guys. And this is why I want to continue to bring you as much value as possible. So go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't already. And then go ahead and like, follow, subscribe, and ring that bell, more importantly, so that way you can get notified. I've heard that YouTube kind of shuffles things around in there. And if you guys want to know when these videos drop, ring that bell so you get notified when I drop these videos for you guys. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care.